Now you should be able to hear me. Can you hear me now? You still can't hear me? Oh, okay, good. Well, you guys missed me whining and complaining about my. I just messed up my back, and I I had a guest who was supposed to come, but I haven't heard from him today. We were planning to do this live initially at like 5:30, but I had to go to the chiropractor, and um, so I had to start like an hour and a half later, and then I just messed up my back um, fixing my neck. It's like, what the? I hate getting old, guys. Everything hurts right now. I could barely walk to the car. It was crazy. Um, but I'm going live from my phone because I can't sit in my computer chair right now. Oh, right now I feel like I'm about 80, 85. Oh, man. Yeah. But how's everybody's day today? Let me see if I could share my. Yeah, I really like my chiropractor though. I really do. I think he really takes care of me. Um, but I don't know. I've lost a bunch of weight, so I think my uh, like spine and stuff is like moving too fast now. I do get massages regularly, um, Molly. My insurance pays for that, so um, it's a little bit cheaper than those things are expensive, but I go about once every other week or once every week, and uh, it's not exactly like a deep tissue, but it's like a all around thing. It helps with circulation and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I was hoping I would hear from the Static Veil. This is a small channel. They're not monetized yet, but they're trying to grow. They've got some decent content, and I like the little comic storybook style that they do. But I haven't gotten an email from him, and I don't see him hopping on. So right now, I feel like I need like I don't know. They need to adjust me from like my stomach side, not the back side. It's like some. Yeah, whenever I switch the screens, I disappear briefly, but you should still see me now. Let's see. This is my house. Uh, this is my outside. We're working on adding turf out there, but I was trying to do dual cam and it's not doing it. I've never did a live with my phone before, but what do you guys want to talk about while I'm here? I was going to try to find something. This is not a dual camera. Okay. I'll just use this. Um, layout. Here we go. I should be able to use all of this same stuff here. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't let me. Oh wait. Nope. Yeah, I definitely don't have any way to add anything. This is weird. I can't share my screen on my phone. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm sorry it's not working out today. But I just wanted to kind of hang out a little bit and let you guys know that I'm here. Let me change this back. Um, Okay, now I can't get the screen back. It's way easier on my computer. Ah, there we go. So, yeah. Oh, so how's everybody's day today? Mine was pretty good. You know, I've been, I have had a pretty easy week at work, but my, I've been under a lot of stress lately, and I feel like it's messing up all of my creativity. Uh, and yesterday, I was hoping that everything would get resolved, or at least, close. But it's not. It's just gonna be another like long period of time before there's any kind of resolution. And with family things like this, the longer it takes, the harder it is on the people who I care about the most, my kiddos. But uh, I just don't even know how to fix it. It's just ridiculous when I can't really talk about it. But just I just want to let you guys know that that's why I've been like not producing as much stuff lately. Um, but uh, yeah, the kiddos live in Arizona with their mom. It wasn't by my choice or anything, and I basically have had to deal with, whatever she requires me. Like I have to just do whatever she says, or she gets mad and doesn't let me talk to the kids ever. So that's how things had been until last year, and now she wants um, legal custody as well, and it's just killing me. I feel like that's the line. I can't let her have that. It's just, it's not fair to my kids. Hey JLO, so we were gonna have a show. I had a guest coming, but I guess he's not gonna make it, and I can't seem to figure out how to share my screen from my phone, and I can't really sit in um, my computer desk right now. But I think I might try it anyway. It's weird. It should have all of the same features on here, but it doesn't. Hmm. I haven't watched the news, and can you elaborate on the Ali trial? Jen, you're not feeling good? What's going on? Here, I think I'm gonna try to move. Uh, I don't think I can move right now, guys. Sorry, I messed up my back. But I want to find out who this is. Oh, COVID. One of my coworkers got it, and he was out for a long time. And I don't know. I've heard a couple people have been out on COVID for a while. But hey, guys, thanks for coming, joining in today. I don't really. I had something planned. It doesn't look like it's working out, and I messed up my back uh, just like within the last 30 minutes, and it's really hard to change positions from standing to sitting or vice versa. And I can't really stand up right now. Or I feel like a weakling. Like I don't I don't know. Nope, I can't do it. I'm gonna be stuck here for a while, guys. Sorry. Holy cow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go take a hot shower, guys. Try to untweak my back, but it's really bad. I think this is the worst it's ever been. I've always had back pain since I was in a car accident back in 2014, and I messed up my back. After that, I couldn't go biking anymore. Even just like doing yard work in the yard, I couldn't do that without like being on my after I would like dig a hole, plant a tree, and then, I wouldn't be able to move for a couple days. I went through like a year and a half of nothing but physical therapy, and I got it where it was okay. Um, but I have to do regular like chiropractic care, or it eventually gets worse. And I don't know. I was having neck pain today, and I went to the chiropractor. My neck feels great, but I don't know. I think my joints are like looser than normal. I've lost like 100 pounds in the last year, so I'm a lot skinnier than I used to be. But I don't know. I've never really had a bad adjustment before, so it's weird. Yeah, I don't have a heat pad, but I might try like a I can get a rag or something and use really hot water. But I'm gonna try a hot shower, I think, in a little bit. So I would show you guys some of the channel that um, I thought he was gonna join me today, but what time is it on the East Coast right now? It's probably what 10:30, almost 11. So it's pretty late there. Um, um, right now, if I had like even like a one of those like weightlifting belts, I think it would help. Uh, but I've tried they call it traction, where they like stretch you out and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Jen, I hope you feel better. I heard you're not feeling well. I'm glad you guys were able to come hang out. I felt bad. I was kind of excited about um, talking about the Vampire of Barcelona. Especially after talking about Epstein the other day. It's kind of like the same situation, only 100 years apart. I think, are very similar. I don't know that people are getting murdered now, but uh, at least in that story of Epstein, but people are, still trapped by other people. And I've been working on a short about this woman, and it's just taken a while. Yeah, this woman was crazy because she didn't just kidnap kids, she kidnapped kids for rich people. They would pay for them, and then they would do, all those disgusting things that, you know, they do. These would be like, I imagine them as like the street kids, the ones that when they go missing, their parents aren't worried. Um, those, the really poor kids. She got caught whenever she snatched the wrong person. and the whole city of Barcelona was looking for her. Um, but she was selling kids to the super rich. And she wasn't just doing that, she was also making, I don't even know what to call it. I guess you could call it spells or supplements, but she was chopping them up and making them into ointments and um, salves and things like that to fight old age. This was back in like 1912, like more than 100 years ago. So people still were believing um, things like that more than they do now. Um, and when she went to prison, she died mysteriously, and it's kind of weird because most likely she got silenced um, before she said who she'd sold kids to. And when I think of this story, I wonder if it's inspired the stories like Squid Games and the Hostel movies, where um, people are being tortured to death for amusement of the rich. It's like I've never been interested in torture movies. I watched Hostel once, and like and Saw. I watched the first Saw movie. I did not watch another one. Um, I just don't like slasher movies. I like horror movies like Friday the 13th or Sleepaway Camp. Those you know they're scary, they're gory, but it's different than the new torture movies like The Purge. I actually liked that movie, but it's a little bit different. Um, but when I saw Hostel, these kids just went rented a room and then they got you know snatched, drugged and snatched and put in these torture chambers, and I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch the whole thing at all. Um, and it's weird that I could watch the Squid Games. Um, I think it's a really good show. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of horror movies, and I think my favorite are like the supernatural kind of horror movies, like witches and spells, um, and ghost stories too. Like the Amityville horror movie, like I like that one. The Shining, I like that one. Um, but there was newer ones too, like The Witch. I liked that one. But I don't know. I never really liked the torture. Like it just seems more disgusting. I think to me. I don't know. Molly, I don't know if there was a movie on um, the Vampire of Barcelona, but there was, I think, on the Vampire of Sacramento, and that's a different kind of vampire. I think they called this woman the vampire just because it was, uh, like a word like the boogeyman, um, not because she was drinking blood or anything. It really doesn't make sense, to be honest, that they called her the vampire. But it was like it became like a story that people told kids. There's a vampire out there on the loose. You know, don't go outside after dark. You won't come home. And it's a lot like the boogeyman kind of story. Um, but she was a real person, and she was, I think, one of the most disturbing killers of all time. And I think what makes her the most disturbing is that she used, the parts of these victims to make ointments and sell them as like miracle cures for aging. I mean, it's like that's just even worse than just I don't know. I can't tell you. Honestly, when I think about this stuff, there's like not one thing that's like the worst thing. They're all horrible things. I don't know. There's just some things that are more gruesome, I think, and harder to imagine somebody being capable of doing those things. It just boggles the mind. I mean, I I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be able to understand the need for violence. The th- I don't get any ah that uh the little okay. It's probably gonna pop me off the screen here, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna Google that real quick. Uh, so if you guys can still hear me, I hope. Her name is Enriqueta Marti Ripoles. Did you guys hear that? Enriqueta. Hopefully, you could still hear that whenever I flipped over the screen. Everybody's scared of clowns. And, you know, a couple years ago, I took my kids to a circus, and there was actually a really funny clown, and I really liked him. And then, they say, hey, come get your photos with the clown. This is a small circus, by the way. Maybe 50 or 60 people are there. And then they like have everyone line up, and then you get in the line, and they're like $50 for a picture. It's like, really? I get it. They got to make money, but still. But yeah, that guy was the funniest clown I've ever seen. And he wasn't a scary clown. His face was painted, but it was like he looked more like a ghost than you know, an it clown. You know what I mean? He had like rosy cheeks, but he didn't have a, a white face. It was like powdered or something. Um, and he was just hilarious. Uh, so yeah, but I'm not a big fan of scary dolls or clowns myself. I know Olga was mentioning Chucky, but the Laloriona, I've heard about her, but I can't seem to remember much about it right now. I think clowns should make a comeback. I think they could be a good thing, not a scary thing. But, it's just funny that so many people don't like clowns now that it's become its own, like, horror thing. Like, there is no more good clowns. I was watching Supernatural the other day, and there was an episode with this clown uh, who was, like, stalking these kids or something. And it turns out that this guy was handicapped, but he was the son of the circus owner, and he dressed up as a clown. And somehow or another, he accidentally killed this person who was the parent of these three kids, and he was sending them toys because he felt like he really felt sorry for what he did, and his father had hid it from the police um, to keep him out of prison. And the guy had like an IQ of 60, he was an adult, but he was like a kid still. It was kind of sad. John Wayne Gracie. I have a lot of trivia questions on that guy. I've thought about doing a story on him, but I think these like more well-known people don't do well on YouTube. It's the lesser-known cases I think that do well. Um, how have you guys been liking the change of pace where I've been doing like bank heists? Um, I've tried to make a couple short videos on bank heists. I I don't know. I've been kind of like I think it's just because I've been under so much stress in my daily life that adding in the stress of like studying murders, I've had to kind of cut back on it just a little bit for now, and that's why I've been covering um, the bank heists. They are really terrible crimes, but it's weird how a bank robber can seem cool. Uh, but there are some bank robberies that, or maybe it's not a bank heist, but it's they get a lot of money somehow, and then they all end up killing each other, and then there'll be other gangs in town that see this gang with all the money, and then they like try to you know take out the gang that stole everything so that they can get everything. I mean, it's crazy. But I've always tried to be able to. I've like there's a lot of how-to videos on how to like pick a lock, and you see the guys going. In every movie, they got some guy picking a lock, and they do it in like 2 seconds, and it's like not possible in real life. Yeah, I looked at that one, and I think I've recorded a short on it. I just haven't um, spent much time editing lately. The last 2 weeks, I've been just really struggling. Sorry, guys. You know, my work output has been very minimal the last couple of weeks, and I apologize for that. Um, you know, stress just wears you out. You know? And it's something that the stuff that I'm going through, I don't think it's even necessary, but I gotta, I gotta do it. Um, I don't want my ex taking off with my kids, leaving the country and not telling me about it. Um, The Exorcist. Okay, the scariest movies for me are alien movies and religious movies. Those are the two horror movies that scare me the most. And the reason is because they could be true. You know, I don't know how religious everyone is, but I would say um, I believe and I respect all religions, kind of thing. Uh, that's just me. I don't know that there's like if the exorcist is real, if there people are really being possessed by demons, but those movies terrify me because well, what if they are true? What if somebody did get possessed, and what if there is a way to get rid of the spirit who's possessing a living body? Um, the idea that we could be possessed is also terrifying just all by itself. um, and aliens also is terrifying because they could also be true. And there's all these abduction stories, these people disappearing for weeks and then coming back. Some of them remember being probed. Uh, but since I found out about the toy box killer, um, what's his name? David Parker Ray. I think that maybe there's other people like that man who, um, capture people, torture them, and then release them, brainwashed, and they don't have any recollection of what had happened. And then somehow, as the little pieces start to come back, it comes out as an abduction story by aliens because they have no other way to understand it. But yeah, yeah. If anybody knows a good attorney in Arizona that would like to do, pro bono work, it would really be helpful. I'm not asking for too much, but I'm just like financially at my limits. It's too much stress. And I feel like I probably shouldn't say that on here, but yeah, the Catholic religion is really got some scary stuff in fiction nowadays. And it's all based off of, true stories. And, it's also kind of taken, I think it's taken, you know, Hollywood is like, you know, took the tiny bit of like factual stuff and it's expanded over the years into this massive thing. And, um, but yeah, like the movies like The Stigmata, that is one of the scariest movies for me. I can't watch it all at once. I have to watch it in pieces. Um, there's others too, like The Exorcist. Um, I won't even watch The Exorcist. I I really like the movie The Stigmata, um, but it's very terrifying. Mhm. What do you Lake Havasu? I think I missed something you said, Olga. Molly, my mom was a big horror fan. And when I was a kid, she would always, on every Saturday, there was this network called USA. And they would have this like um, two movie back to back horror movie thing or something. Yeah, I think if I needed an attorney for this in Alaska, I would qualify for, a free one, and I would qualify for a free one there, I think too. But I haven't been able to um, make an appointment. Even like they have a voicemail that says you have to come in and wait in line, and you may not get seen the first day. That kind of time I just don't have. I don't actually live there. Plus, it costs so much to fly there. Um, but I think it's gonna work out. It'll be fine. It's stressful, but I'm a strong person. I'll get through it. Just might be like a zombie for the next few weeks or months because I can't sleep. You know. But this weekend I was planning on hiking up to Flat Top Mountain again to see if I can, actually do it without almost dying like I did last year. But then, I conveniently messed up my back. Yeah, well, Jen, I went to the chiropractor today. I go at least once a week. Um, and I don't know, I was okay when I went there. Like my neck was killing me and everything, but my back just got over adjusted. And I'm hoping. a hot shower, maybe lying on the hard floor will um, help. But yeah, if I can walk this weekend, I'm planning to do some hiking on Saturday, and I'll try to record. There's no signal up there, so I can't go live, or I would, but I might record some and then share it with you guys later, because it's really beautiful up there. Like I know you guys can't really see here, but I mean, just looking out my front door, I mean, my front window, it's, whoops, wrong button. Whoops, there we go. But you can't see it. I can't zoom in, but there's a mountain back there. Nope, it won't let me zoom in. Maybe you can see it. I don't know on your screens, but there's usually clouds like halfway up the mountain over there. Let me see. Ultra. Oops. Ah, yeah. None of my cameras will let me zoom in, but I I like sitting out here, looking out the window. Um, but yeah, last year I hiked up it. I weighed about 280 pounds, and I was hiking up it, and I was doing okay. I wasn't doing terrible, but about right before I got to the like, there's, um, it's kind of like it's not really switchbacks, but it just kind of wraps around um, the mountain, and then it comes up to the top, and then you can see both sides of the mountain, and then there's another area that goes up, and that area is steep. It's loose gravel, but when you get up to the top, there's like a flag up there, and then you can see everything all around everywhere. I mean, it's actually hard to get up there. You're on all fours climbing to the top. Um, but I only made it to the top part where you can see over the backside of the mountain. It's a clearing kind of thing, and like there's a real good breeze there, and it's really nice. But about 300 feet before I made it to that spot, I couldn't go anymore. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't, like, I had to sit down. Um, People were asking me if I was okay, if I needed help getting down, things like that, and it was a real eye opener. And I really cut down on eating. I could eat like three people, I think. And I still have days where I can. I try not to, but uh, you know. So yeah, I think Cuffy was on here, and I think she was disappointed that there wasn't really going to be a live today. But I can't sit at my computer, and I'm kind of stuck in this chair right now. So, and let me see if I can find. Oh, uh, yeah, the guy from the Static Veil said he just got my message. I'll tell him we're live. Um, but he was at work, I guess. I thought he didn't work today. But if he can come on, maybe he can share a link for you guys. I can't seem to find it. And I can't share my screen on my phone. But, I feel bad whenever I promise, hey, I'm going to do a live on this day, and then something comes up and I can't. So I try to make it happen. And I just thought I would come hang out and say hi to everyone, at least. But Cuff, you seemed pretty excited, and then I let her down. I'm sorry. Um, but on my computer, I've got a bunch of stuff about the Vampire of Barcelona. Um, but I do think I'm gonna hop off here pretty soon. I just sent an email to the Static Veil, uh, and I'm gonna give him a minute or two to see if he pops on. Yeah, you know, Molly, I wish I could, like, I see all these channels doing like lives all the time, and I wish I could do that too. But you know, I work during the day, and then sometimes I get home and I'm just super tired. You know, I just want to eat and like not think about stuff. Um, and the last few weeks, like the last month and a half, besides the last 2 weeks, I've been writing other things besides true crime, and I've been really enjoying it. Um, but I am glad you guys made it. I do appreciate it when you guys come watch these. I wish I had more interesting stuff for you guys. You know, Olga says, remember it's the oxygen level. I don't know what the elevation is, but I don't think it's that high. But it made me think of something else. There's like a some kind of gravity thing down there where you actually roll up a hill before you get to the flat top mountain area. It's like marked on the GPS. So if you're using GPS in your car, it like says like I forget what it says. I'll have to look it up, but you guys should look it up. And there's a spot here in Alaska that you can actually roll uphill. It's kind of scary. Yeah, Molly, I'm glad you enjoy. I'm just like hanging out right now, kind of, you know. But it looks like my phone is about to die, so I am gonna. It's at 2%. I just noticed it. I am so sorry. And here, I'll take a screenshot just to prove it. I'm not making this up. I'll post it in my community tab in a little bit if I can get out of this chair. I might have to crawl. Oh man, but I feel okay until I try to like just leaning forward is killing me. Oh yeah, nope, I cannot move. Uh, this is terrible. I think this is. They always ask me what my pain level is, and I'm like, oh, it's like a 7, but this is like a 9. I don't think I've felt anything like this before. But so it's at 1% now. It's probably gonna disappear. So, guys, I do appreciate you for being here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Um, I will, I will get to where I can make lives during the week too, and will actually, you know, have something interesting in them. I am also trying to get more guests on. I think I put a post out about, hey, if you know somebody who wants to be a guest, you know, uh, it could be anybody. I saw a channel the other day inviting everyone to click the link and join the live. So I might try that too. But anyways, guys, have a good night. I'll see you next time.